So today we are going to learn how to navigate in Excel more efficiently and quickly. There are two broad approaches. One is the traditional way, and recently a new navigator pane was added. We will see that towards the end. Let's start with simple traditional navigation. Data is long, want to go to the next page, page down, page down. Of course you know that. What you may not know is if the data is broad and you want to see the next page horizontally, what do? Well, don't press right arrow many times. That's bad. Press Alt, page down. Multiple times, you can quickly navigate horizontally. Alt page down, Alt page up. But wait, there is one more method. If you really want to scroll horizontally quickly, press Shift and Control and use the mouse wheel. You'll be surprised to know how interesting, intelligent and smart this shortcut is. Try it out on a large file, you will love it. Now the next thing is, of course, you want to jump between sheets. I hope you know that. Control page down and Control page up. Sometimes we want to select multiple sheets. So if you press Shift key while pressing Control page down, you're not only going to the next sheet, you're selecting those sheets as you go along. Now sometimes we want to go to a particular place. You have row number and column number. So if you know the row number, column number, you can directly type it somewhere. And where is that somewhere? That's the name box on the top. Name box on the left side of the formula bar. You can type something, it will just go and select. The problem is, to go to the name box, you have to click using mouse. So it's not really a keyboard shortcut, but you can use F5 or Control G to go to the go to dialog. Yes, you go to the go to dialog, and then there you can type the name and it will go there directly. In fact, if I want to select 100 cells, rather than dragging them manually, just type A1:A100 and quickly the range gets selected. Now why would you want to do that? Maybe I want a serial number kind of thing. No problem. Now that you have selected the range, type 1, then what do? I don't want to drag now because the selection will go away. Go to fill series and say step 1. That's how you create serial numbers quickly. But now there is an even better method of serial numbers. There is a function called sequence. You say how many rows you want, how many columns you want, which number do you start with, which number do you increment it by, and that's it. Sequence is a great function to have, but that works only in Office 365 version of Excel. Now sometimes we want multiple random numbers. Earlier we used to use rand between and copy the formula. That's still there. But now we have rand array as a function, which also allows you to decide how many rows, how many columns, what is the minimum value, what is the maximum value, and whether you want decimal numbers or whole numbers. Next one, end mode. Many of you may not have even noticed something called end mode, but trust me, this is useful. Now look at the status bar. It shows ready. What does that mean? It's ready to do whatever you want to do in Excel. Now the moment I press the end key, press and release, don't keep it pressed. Now look at the status bar. That thing changed to end mode. So notice the end mode. And what is the point? Point is, now it is saying, okay, you press the end button. That means you want to move to the end. Of what? On the right side end, left side, top, bottom. So now it is waiting for you to press an arrow key. So if you now press down arrow, just down arrow, it will actually go to the last row in the current data. So end down arrow, go last row. End right arrow, go to the rightmost row, like that. And while you are doing that, if you press Shift key, it gets selected. So it gets a little confusing initially, but once you get the hang of it, life becomes very easy to understand, learn mode. Like end mode, there are two other modes you should know, enter mode and edit mode. What does that mean? When you are entering a formula, look at the bottom. It's saying enter mode. What does that mean? If I move the cursor using up, down, right, left keys, then it's going to select cells above, below and so on. So we are in enter mode because I'm entering a formula. Okay, I finalized the formula by pressing enter key now. Done. So now what happens? I want to edit the formula. I press F2 or double click, I am editing. Now if I press left right key, it's going to edit within the formula. Cursor is moving there. That's fine. But sometimes what happens when I am editing the formula, I actually want to change the range. Now I don't want the cursor keys to move within. I want them to move across the formula. Now what do? Press F2, function key 2, and look at the status bar. Earlier it was in edit mode, now it jumped to enter mode. In many cases, what you expect does not happen because the mode is wrong. So look at the mode and then change it proactively. You will never have confusion while editing formulas. Now Excel sheet is long, but even within a formula you need navigation. Do you know that? When you have a formula, this is a complex one. There's a formula within a formula within a formula. So now in this formula, I want to navigate. Why do I want to navigate? Because maybe there is an if function, and if function has some condition, and then what happens if it is true? What happens if it is false? So now in this case, the what happens if true part itself is a large function. Now if I want to change that, I'll have to go there, click there and select. No, that's inefficient. That's why when you click inside a formula, you see a tooltip. Of course you know that. That tooltip shows you the syntax. Yes, you know that. But what you have not noticed is each of those items is a hyperlink. Each of the parameters is a hyperlink. Why? Because when you click on the hyperlink, the entire parameter is selected even if it is very long. So that's the fastest way of navigating within a formula. And now I can quickly change whatever I want to. Another related thing, I selected that portion of if condition. Now I want to check. Something is going wrong. I want to see this much portion. If I calculate, what will it return? So press F9. So anything which is selected will be calculated. This is a very nice way of troubleshooting when the formulas are not working. Now one word of caution, when you press F9, it has been calculated. It's a number or whatever output. Don't press enter, otherwise the formula is gone. Press escape. This is just a troubleshooting method. If I want to see a list of all the sheets, what do? At the bottom, you will see left and right arrow. There, if you right click, you will see a list of all sheets. So you can quickly navigate to the desired sheet. All this has been there in the older version of Excel. But now the latest one. Microsoft introduced a new navigation pane. View tab, navigation, and now you see a separate window or a pane actually, which opens on the right side. And what does it show? All the sheets. Okay, now when you open a sheet, what does it show? It shows every range which has some data in it. Yes, not necessarily name range. Of course, name ranges, tables, pivot tables, charts, everything, plus cells which just have data with the range name. And the best part of this is they searchable. And not only can you see things there, you can rename things as well. So it's a very quick and easy way of looking at data and navigating from one place to another. That is how you navigate Excel. I'm sure you found at least few things which you are going to use immediately. So subscribe, click the bell icon, like it, share it, and ask queries. I'll be happy to answer your queries as well. And nowadays there is a thanks button. Why don't you explore that as well? So that's it for now. See you next time. Thank you.